Hey there, Mr. Henry here, and the Donner DDP 200 digital piano. Well, it's a really nice digital piano. It just came in, all checked out, and I'm excited to share all the cool specs that this higher-end professional digital piano offers, so stay tuned. A great keyboard for a home or music classroom with weighted action keys, 3 pedals, giving a true feel of a real piano, along with some other great features. So make sure to check out the entire video so you can make the best decision in choosing the right digital piano. Also, make sure to subscribe to get more music unboxings, and if this video helps, make sure to give it a like. Greatly appreciated. So first, let's get into opening the Donner DDP 200. Let's discuss putting the keyboard together. So everything was very easy to piece together. It didn't take very long, and the quality of the screws, bolts, etc. was above average to allow everything to be pieced together quickly and easily. I can't tell you how many pieces of furniture I've put together, and the low quality of the screws and connectors and such really makes it difficult to piece together efficiently, which can then take more time than needed. But this is not the case with the DDP 200 frame and keyboard. So let's place a check mark next to easy to put together. Sweet! I really like the sleek look of the keyboard, as it can become a part of your home decor. Much better looking than the traditional black plastic look that is normally found with a keyboard. There is a lid to cover the keys, which also helps with the look when not being played, and of course this protects the keys from getting dusty and dirty. It's also much more compact compared to an upright acoustic piano, which makes it possible to put in almost any space in your home. So put a check mark next to the look of the piano. Let's now get into the 2 most important aspects to picking a great keyboard instrument, along with some other really cool features. Number 1, the weighted keys. The DDP 200 has dual sensor action, which is comparable to a high-end piano that has a realistic acoustic piano feel, as if you were playing a nice grand piano. So let's get to an overhead shot to get my first impression of the weighted keys. Here we are in the studio with the keyboard, the Donner DDP 200, and it's time to now check out the weighted key action. For me, the action of the keys is really the most important. If it has a good feel to it, it's just a lot of fun to play, and if it's a lot of fun to play, then you're going to play it more. So let's just check it out. Here we go. Yeah, so my first impressions, there's definitely a weighted action, but the action on this keyboard is a lot lighter than you might find on other keyboards, which I actually kind of like. So I've played a lot of different grand pianos, and I've played grand pianos that have a real heavy weight to it. In fact, when I did a senior recital, the piano that I had to play on the stage just had a really heavy weight to it, which meant that it was just harder to press the keys down. And so I had to really get used to it, because there was another grand piano in another part of the music school that the action was very light. And so it was a lot easier to go faster on certain type of pieces that required you to really move quickly. And this one
has that kind of a light touch to it, which really is nice. And it allows the piano player to ultimately to move a little quicker. Yeah, so it definitely has a lighter kind of touch to it, but you can definitely feel some weights in there. So it's a nice touch. And if you're looking for something that has a little lighter of a touch, this is definitely it. So, and of course it will play softly. It'll play loud. Right, so it has those sensors in there to do that correctly. So overall, I like the feel of the piano. It's, like I said, a lighter touch to it. So if you're looking for something that has a lighter touch, this definitely offers it. Yeah, it feels good playing it.
Cool! The weighted keys have a great feel, and when the feel of the piano is just right, it makes it way more fun to play. So let's put a check mark in for a great feel of the keys. The next important spec that is a must are the sounds of the keyboard. I'm always looking for a really nice grand piano sound, and the DDP 200 has a newly upgraded speaker system. It actually has a hanging design of the speaker box, which is to make the output sound more three-dimensional. And just from playing a little while focusing on the weighted keys initially, I definitely noticed that the speakers have a great sound, which is really important in correlation to the virtual sounds within the keyboard. If the speakers aren't that great, the virtual sounds will naturally be lacking. So by already having a good speaker system makes the sounds way more enjoyable.
So this is a stage piano sound, which I think has a really nice sound to it. I'm really happy with this one. I actually like this one better than the grand piano sound they have in here. But yeah, it's nice. So there aren't many sounds that are found within this particular keyboard, which really isn't necessary. I kind of like when there's only just a few to choose from. So we have like an organ sound, a string sound like you heard, and a couple different piano settings as well. This is supposed to really be a keyboard that is just a little simpler in terms of its ability with sounds and things like that. But what's cool about it is if you ever wanted to use different sounds in your recordings or even just listening to it, you could hook it up to a computer. Then you would have to set up a certain program that would allow you to get to those different types of sounds. So that's something you can always do, but the sounds are limited, and I think that's ultimately done on purpose, just to kind of keep it a little simpler. I like the simplicity of it, and then of course the look of it is really nice for a living room or wherever you would like to put it. So those are the sounds. The sounds are pretty standard, I would say. The stage piano sound is my favorite out of all of these. There's a couple in there that you can play around with. Awesome.
So that puts a check mark for the sounds and speakers. Now let's check out a few other cool features offered. On the back of the keyboard, we do have USB connectivity, so you can hook up a computer for recording or even just play around with new sounds with a computer. Also, you can Bluetooth a phone or other device into the keyboard, so if there is an app that needs to connect to a keyboard, it has that capability. Necessary outs and inputs with Bluetooth connection, give it a check in that box. There are 3 pedals, which is what we would normally see on an acoustic piano, and each pedal does offer the same function as seen on an acoustic piano. The pedal all the way to the right is the most used on the piano, the sustain pedal, which holds the notes out for a longer duration. All the way to the left is the soft pedal, which allows the notes to be played softer with a slightly darker tone. It also affects the touch of the piano, which when testing it out, it did have a different feel, which is really cool since that is what you would expect on an acoustic piano. The pedal in the middle is the sostenuto pedal, where notes played before the pedal is pressed down will capture the note to sustain and ring out, while other notes are played have a normal decay. Now, the middle pedal is not used often, but it does react the same way as an acoustic piano, which is very cool. So the function of the pedals work well and feel true to an acoustic piano. Put a check in that box. The LCD screen is nice, and within the screen function, we do have 5 reverb options. There are metronome settings within the keyboard as well, so you can play along with different click tracks when practicing. Also, if you want to play without disturbing others, a headphone jack is available to plug in headphones to enjoy, and the sounds are really nice through a good pair of headphones. The magnetic piano rack is a cool feature, so when closing the lid, the piano rack, which is part of the keyboard to place your music, phone, or tablet on, will connect to the top of the lid magnetically to hide the rack without damaging the keys once closed. This is part of the sleek look you get once the piano top is closed without having the piano rack seen. Many cool features with a solid sound and feel, and to make this even better, Donner is offering a discount on the DDP 200 by simply visiting the description box to find a coupon code and by clicking the link. So make sure to check that out as it supports this channel, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you so much. I'm Mr. Henry, and I'll see you in the next video.